the queen of arena rock. Her iconic spandex look was inspired by a cheesy sci-fi B-movie called Cat Women of the Moon. She saw it on late-night TV, copied the costume, and accidentally created the signature look of 80s rock. The legendary Bon Scott in '74, during AC/DC's very first year. He had just joined the band, thinking his own career was over after a bad motorcycle crash. This was the beginning of his second chance and his journey into rock immortality. David Bowie as Ziggy Stardust in 1973. He was at the peak of his powers, conquering America with his alien rock messiah persona. What no one knew was that just a few months later, he would abruptly kill off the character on stage forever. Boston, 1979. This was the Clash invading America. Their US label had refused to release their debut album for 2 years, calling it too raw. By the time of this tour, it had become the biggest-selling import album of all time. The resurrection of a legend. In 1996, producer Rick Rubin brought Johnny Cash together with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. The sessions famously saw the Man in Black cover a Soundgarden song, win a Grammy, and stun the music world. The German metal gods in their infancy. This is the Scorpions 7 years before their first album. They were just teenagers playing Beatles covers in local clubs, a humble beginning for a band that would one day sell over 100 million records. The Experience in full psychedelic color. This iconic photo was for the American release of their debut album. The band hated the original, boring UK cover and demanded this vibrant new look to match their revolutionary music and style. At the absolute peak of their fame in 1961, the Everly Brothers did the unthinkable. They enlisted. They traded their guitars for rifles and served 6 months in the Marine Corps Reserve, even appearing on The Ed Sullivan Show in their dress blues. A quiet moment in the eye of a hurricane. While Fleetwood Mac was imploding during the chaotic Rumors sessions, Stevie Nicks, who was secretly having an affair with Mick Fleetwood, shared a tender moment with his daughters. By 1959, Ricky Nelson was a rock and roll king. Director Howard Hawks cast him in the Western Rio Bravo alongside John Wayne, specifically hoping his music stardom would pack the theaters with teenagers who'd never seen a Western before. Pure, high-voltage rock and roll. This was AC/DC's first major headlining tour of America, playing small, sweaty theaters. They were so loud and relentless, they would frequently blow the power in the clubs, which only made the crowds love them more. Ozzy in London, 1992. This was during his famous No More Tours tour, when he planned to retire for good after a health scare. Of course, the Prince of Darkness couldn't be stopped, and this first retirement didn't last long. REO Speedwagon in 1981, the year they ruled the world with high infidelity. But this was no overnight success. The band had been grinding it out on the road for over a decade, the ultimate Midwestern bar band that finally hit the jackpot. The Texas Tornado in full flight. While the move was pure Hendrix, the guitar was pure Stevie Ray. That's his legendary #1 Stratocaster, a battered Frankenstein of a guitar that he pieced together to create his signature ferocious sound. Two piano kings from Louisiana, Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis, backstage in '58. Fats brought the warm, rolling sound of New Orleans, while The Killer brought fire and brimstone. Two completely different roads leading to the heart of rock and roll. The Thunder from Down Under. This is John Bonham at Madison Square Garden, playing his legendary amber Vistalite drum kit. He was one of the first rock drummers to use acrylic shells, creating that massive booming sound that defined Led Zeppelin. The students meet the master. On their 1964 U.S. tour, the Beatles made a special pilgrimage to meet their idol, Fats Domino. Years later, Paul McCartney would pay direct tribute by writing Lady Madonna in Fats' signature piano style. June 28, 1975, in Canada. While the crowd witnessed the spectacle of the Wish You Were Here tour, Roger Waters felt an immense disconnect. This very alienation would directly inspire the central theme for his magnum opus, The Wall. The heart of rock and roll. After years of theatrical excess, the Stones' '78 tour was a raw, back-to-basics affair. They played smaller arenas, stripping away the spectacle to reconnect with the fans, one sweat-soaked show at a time. The Pope of pop art meets the Queen of cool. Andy Warhol was captivated by Debbie Harry, making her the subject of his famous silkscreen portraits. For Warhol, who had defined '60s celebrity, she was the ultimate face of the new wave. Two guitar gods, Eric Clapton and Jerry Garcia, in 1968. Cream was ruling the world with tight, powerful blues rock, while the Dead were expanding minds in San Francisco. A rare moment between two players who reshaped the sound of the electric guitar. Van Halen takes New York. Everyone knows about the brown M&Ms, but their contract also demanded a tube of KY jelly. It was another clever test to see if the promoters were paying attention to the crucial technical details. Two generations of rock royalty. Steven Tyler credits seeing Ringo and the Beatles on The Ed Sullivan Show as the exact moment he knew he had to be in a band. Years later, Aerosmith would pay tribute by covering Come Together. Two titans of Heartland rock, backstage in Detroit. That night, Springsteen made a surprise appearance on Seger's stage, joining his hero for a legendary jam. It was an iconic passing of the torch moment for American rock and roll.